and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, our scouts.
My name's Dylan. I'm from Pack 134 and I'm in second grade. Hi, my name is Aiden. I'm from Troop 134 and I'm in fifth grade. My name is Brandon. I'm from Pack 134 and I'm in fourth grade. Good evening. I'm Alexandra Che. I'm from Troop 134 and I just completed sixth grade. My name is Ethan Pega Patton. I'm in Troop 134 and I'm in sixth grade. My name is Casper. I'm in Pack 134 and I'm in fourth grade. I'm Serena and I'm from Troop 134 and I'm in sixth grade.
Great job. Scouts, thank you very much for being here. Parents, thank you for being here. You're regular visitors to our council meetings, and we always enjoy having you here. And I think they did a great job. Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Kelly, thank you for those inspirational words. We appreciate you as well. So with that, would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Wood.
Here.
Councilmember Croft.
Here.
Councilmember Ariana.
Here.
Vice Mayor Chase. Here. Mayor Andrews.
Here, thank you very much. Before we begin, I'll go over our public participation guidelines. Members of the audience may address the City Council on any item on the agenda during the section of the meeting entitled Public Comment on Items on the Agenda. We will ask each speaker to stay within a 3-minute time limit for their total comments during that section. There is not a separate public comment period for individual items on the agenda unless for items listed as public hearings, which will have their own public comment period. Items not on the agenda may be addressed during oral communications at the end of the council meeting. We will ask each speaker to stay within a 3-minute time limit during oral communications as well. We ask if you plan to speak, please sign in now, write your name, address, and the subject of your remarks on the sign-in sheet at the rear of the room. Moving next to announcements and presentations. 2 Saturdays ago, several of my council colleagues and I were able to join an original Lakewood resident, Bertha Martinez, along with her family and friends to celebrate her 100th birthday. Bertha and her husband bought their home for their young family in 1950, before Lakewood was even officially a city, as you know, 4 years later. And I must say, she looks amazing for 100. And many community members have joined in on wishing her a happy birthday when we shared this photo on social media. Maybe it has something to do with our Lakewood water, right, Director Warren? Regardless, we have enjoyed several special visits to our centenarians throughout the years and marvel at their longevity and wish them all, of course, continued health. So how about a big round of applause for Bertha? I'm sure she's watching our council meeting tonight, right? I'm positive, yeah. So in less happy news, unfortunately, LA County had an eventful past few days with clashes between protesters and federal immigration officials and law enforcement personnel. Some of the action hit pretty close to home, with protests erupting in our neighboring city of Paramount. And I know of at least one Lakewood business that was targeted with some pretty profane graffiti that was not very pleasant to see. I want to make it very clear that the city of Lakewood does and has always supported everyone's, and I mean everyone's, right to protest peacefully. But we have and will always decry violence and threats of violence in any form. These are complex issues, especially for the broader community of Los Angeles County with all its diversity. But you know what? We have the same diversity here in the city of Lakewood, as diverse as we are and are becoming. So I know there are strong feelings on all sides of the issue, but Lakewood's priority remains unchanged to keep our residents and community safe. Not only in keeping everyone safe to express their views, but also safe from those who choose to engage in violence and criminal behavior. This month has 2 special commemorations I'd like to share. June is LGBTQ Pride Month, and it also marks the observance of Juneteenth, the oldest known celebration commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. I was honored to sign a separate proclamation for Pride Month and for Juneteenth. It can be found on our city website along with an article that talks about each. We encourage you to look at the many resources for both commemorations, including at the Los Angeles County Library. I'd like to note that City Hall will be closed on June 19th, as will our libraries, to observe the Juneteenth holiday. However, on Friday, June 20th, the city has partnered with LA County's Yakavoni Library, right next door, to put on an outdoor Juneteenth event once again, and it'll be on the lawn outside the library. Starting at 3:30 p.m., you can join other community members for a story walk, which engages families in a walk around Lakewood Civic Center with the Yakavoni Library staff reading pages from the young children's Juneteenth book, which will be on display. The outdoor event will include lawn games, giveaways, light refreshments, along with a chance to express your creativity via chalk mural. And I understand that there's going to be an amazing speech by the mayor, right? I mean, that's something to look forward to, right? Okay, maybe. If you can't make it during the staffed event that runs until 4:30 p.m., the self-guided story walk continues until 5. So on behalf of this council, thank you to all of our city staff and the LA County Library staff in Lakewood for working together on this very important project. We appreciate all of your mutual efforts on this event. It should be a fun time. Lastly, I want to let everyone know that there is a Red Cross blood drive tomorrow at the center from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I highly encourage you to sign up if you haven't already. Your donation and selfless act of kindness could save someone's life. You can contact the Red Cross to sign up or call City Hall for more information. So that's all I have for this evening. So I'm going to go to my, is that enough? Is that enough? Okay. I'm going to go to my council colleagues. Thank you very much. We'll start with our Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Just have a few announcements and comments. I know our community holds family dignity and compassion as core values, and right now many of our neighbors are living in fear of being separated from their loved ones, fear of being seen as less than human. I hope and trust that we can agree no one should have to live that way. We may come from different backgrounds, but we all want the same things: safety, love, and belonging. In moments like this, people will speak up and show up for what they believe in. This is an act of care, an expression of love. And when it's done with discipline and the discipline of nonviolence, it reflects the best of who we are. Violence, no matter where it comes from, has no place in our community. Now more than ever, we need to be peacemakers, to lead with empathy and to turn our shared values into actions that lift and protect every member of our community. I hope that is something that we can agree to together. Over the past week, I had the opportunity to visit and engage with several community members and events that reflect our community's value. On Friday evening, I attended the grand opening of the Western States Regional Council of Carpenters, the whole P23 Training Center in Carson. It was inspiring to speak with graduates of the apprenticeship program and see firsthand how this facility is creating pathways to union jobs. These programs are essential not only for strengthening our workforce, but for opening doors for our youth and future tradespeople, offering real, tangible career opportunities close to home. I also had the opportunity to tour the Bell Shelter, where I saw the impact of our investment in housing and supportive services. The shelter provides residents with job training, counseling, and a path towards permanent housing. More than 80 participants of the program move on to stable housing or employment, and it's clear that this collaborative model works. Homelessness, as we know, is a regional issue that transcends city lines, and it's only through continued partnership, compassion, and action that we can move towards long-term solutions. And lastly, I had the joy, and I know many of our council members did as well, had the joy of attending the Pride in the Park event, and I want to thank the organizers and volunteers who made the celebration possible. As we honor Pride Month, let's continue to show up for one another and treat each other with love and care as we continue to build a stronger and more inclusive Lakewood.
Great, thank you very much.
Just want to say, as some of you may know, all of us on the dais here, we not only attend Lakewood events and council meetings, but we also serve on various boards, including those contract cities, JPIA, SCAG, and the COG. Serving on these boards ensures that Lakewood's voice and influence is felt throughout the region and the state. I'm proud to share that this past Wednesday, that I was recently elected by other council members from the Southeast area to the League of California Cities Board of Directors, representing the cities of the Southeast Los Angeles area, including Lakewood. Other cities look up to Lakewood as being a well-run city and desirable community, and rightfully so. I'm proud to represent us on the board, and just as my colleagues represent us on other boards and agencies. I want to say thank you to all.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say I appreciate the mayor's remarks and the vice mayor's remarks on the current events, and I don't want to sit back in silence and ignore the issues currently unfolding close and around our neighboring cities regarding immigration and public demonstrations. As a proud Lakewood resident, Latino leader, father of mixed-race children, I took great pride in our city's diversity and how well it's run, and the strong sense of community that we all share in Lakewood. We welcome peaceful protest and fully support the rights of individuals to exercise their First Amendment freedoms. At the same time, I understand that agencies have to do their responsibilities, but I do not support or condone violence of any form. So to everyone walking and here watching in person, please be safe, stay informed, and know your rights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Crawford.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add. I agree with my council colleagues' comments. I would just say that you're exercising your First Amendment rights to peacefully protest. I would encourage you to become involved with organized groups, hopefully peaceful groups. Indivisible Lakewood is one that comes to mind, to where you're not putting yourself out at risk. That people who show up at these things and cause problems take away from the message. And I think peaceful protests are the way to go, and to get the message across and to keep it amplified without diluting it because of violence that are caused mostly by people who are not involved with the movement. So that's we all have a right to speak our minds and push for our policies that we think should be, but I think it should be done in a peaceful manner, and that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Wood.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, colleagues, for your comments. I think we all agree, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for those comments on behalf of the council. Just a couple things that I wanted to report on. First of all, congratulations to our colleague for being elected to represent a number of cities on the Southeast. It's great. We all are all involved in different organizations, and I think Lakewood in our region is well represented. So congratulations, Councilmember, on that appointment. Look forward to having you represent us. I attended the first anniversary of Patakwa. They got to celebrate 1 year, and as many of you know, for our small businesses, it's always a challenge. And so I was able to go by and celebrate their 1 year. I think Troop 134 is left, but Councilmember Ariano and I attended the Eagle Court on behalf of the council, presented a certificate to Theo Crapo on becoming an Eagle Scout, which is a great honor. Obviously, it's the highest award a Scout can earn. I hope everybody's planning to attend the first concert in the park, which is this Thursday at 6:30 at Del Val. We have the Smoking Cobras, so it's a great opportunity to engage with the community. I was able to meet at a pop-up, one existing Lakewood business owner, Big Brian's Meats, did a pop-up with Boba Besties, which is a new Lakewood business that's going to be opening up in the same shopping center as Huntington County. So they were very excited to be having a project, so I'm sure they're going to be listening. And finally, Mr. Mayor, thank you for bringing up Mrs. Martinez to celebrate her 100th birthday. And I guess if the council will indulge, I'd like to give a shout out to my mother-in-law, who today is celebrating the 61st anniversary of her 29th birthday. Let me just say that in 10 years, I hope my colleagues will be able to join me in a similar photo with my mother-in-law. She's been a Lakewood resident since right at the stage of corporation, so I'm probably going to be in trouble. That's why I gave the thing like Ronald Reagan did, but yes, 61st anniversary of the 29th birthday, so happy birthday to my mother-in-law. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Fortunately, we can't do the math, so we'll have to use calculators.
Just in 10 years.
That's right.
Do a photo.
That's right. Oh, good. Great comments. Thank you all very much. We're going to move next to public comment on items that are on the posted agenda. So for those of you who signed up to speak, that something is posted. If you did not, if you signed up to speak on a subject that's not on the posted agenda, then we're going to call you up during oral communications at the end of the council meeting. So we're going to begin tonight with Mr. Norris.
Two parts of the routine business. On the block party, there's one down the street in my little neighborhood. Parking is always tight, and people, even on non-parties, tend to park on corners and such. I hope you let the people know that they can't park on corners, and because various times I've seen the fire engines come through that they have to turn around that big fire truck because the streets are too narrow with the parking. I know I brought this up many times. We have laws on what we call motor trucks, which are pickup trucks and vans, aren't supposed to be wider than 80 inches. So hopefully you can let the people know that. And on the trash collection, I noticed there's an increase there. I know in my neighborhood, past 2 weeks, I see scavengers going through large pickup with full trucks. I know for mine, I had a couple weeks ago when they picked it up, a friend said, "Oh, you should let me know. I could have made $300 on that." So think of that, and also on the I guess trash collection's a different one. And 1.8 on the crosswalks to make it a law. Is that going to include unmarked crosswalks as well as curb extensions as per the law? Just, I know I brought that up in the past too. So just to think about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sally Tanaka, you're next.
All right, so thank you. I want to talk about RI3. It is about the permit for street closure. Yes, thank you, Mayor Wood. Hold on, I have 3 minutes. Why it says 47 seconds? I thought you said I have 3 minutes though.
You do. You have 3 minutes. Go ahead and
Why
start
it
the
says
timer,
4:40?
please.
It just doesn't make any sense. So the RI3 is about street closure. Thank you for your correction for the timer, Mayor Wood. Yes, I want to get a little bit clarification on this because I see that the council is trying to approve 32 requested locations. But however, I want to know what is the qualification or permitting guidelines or which department that I can reach out to. Because sometimes my friend, like for example, Jason Reedy, when he was submitting several street closure for special event, for example, as funeral services or whatever religious event, but our requests are being denied, but without giving a proper reason. So I just really feel like I'm very jealous because I want to submit a request too, and then there are several community members have done that in the past, but that was denied, but it was not given a proper reason. So I'm not really sure in the future what can I do, how can I correct myself, or how can I correct my behavior, or maybe how do I correct my mental disability in order to get some sort of approval from the city. So I really wish I can have a little bit clarification that the whole permitting process. Second of all, I want to talking about is disabled person designated parking. For this one, it says on the south side, the South Service Road of Del Amo Boulevard. The first time I spoke in this city council, I remember I informed the Mayor Wood that I really have so many issues with disability parking spot. Number one, violators are not being properly enforced. Because I heard our mayor or whatever, whatever everybody say, violence or violations are not being tolerated. But what I'm witnessing that hundreds of violators are being tolerated by our sheriff department on a daily basis. Sometimes that I even make a phone call. I said, hey, sheriff department, this one has no disabled parking, plate, and he was right there. Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Have a nice day. I really don't know. We continue trying to make a disabled person more convenient, but in reality, without proper enforcement, without proper, supervision, you are just wasting your time right here. So. Going back to the permit item that in the future, I wish that our city provide transparency that whenever you deny someone, tell them clearly why you are being denied. Is that because of your skin color, because of your gender, because of your national background, whatever? Let's be transparent to everyone. Thank you for your time, Mayor Wood.
Thank you. To be transparent, to get a permit in Lakewood, you have to be a Lakewood resident, which you are not. So let's be transparent about that. Nor do you drive a car. But thank you for coming in. Luis Macias?
Good evening. I just have a couple of items I wanted to address. About the trash service, why is it that on Yearling Street where I live, it can start between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, and the last bin, which is the green stuff, it's at 6 o'clock in the evening?
We have our trash contractors in the audience. They can address that for you when you're complete.
And the other thing is, if I were to address them, it's been about 30 years since the beautiful streets of Lakewood have been repaved. I recently bought a couple of new cars, and I thought, boy, the suspension is really bad. Later on, I determined that it's not the suspension, it's the streets that need to be repaved. What is the plan? I recall.
So we're gonna have to refer those comments till after that we finish the posted agenda, because that's gonna be under all the communications. Right now, we're just taking comment on items on the posted agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you. Carson Lee?
Yes, hi. This is actually my first time here, so if I seem a little skittish, I apologize. Tough act to follow up there, but just before I start, so is it just the routine items first, then before?
There's items on the posted agenda.
Okay, so any of the items that show on routine and public? Okay, got it.
Not yet, not including public hearings, right?
Okay, not including public hearings. Okay, got it. Just the routine ones. Okay. So the first one, even though it's not directly a routine item, a good friend of mine, she's actually disabled. She's in a wheelchair full time. And I know she wanted to be here today. And so I had my phone going on just to record this particular comment. But I know we stream the recording. It would just be really nice if we offered at least some sort of call-in option for somebody that has a disability, particularly to be able to voice a public comment. I don't think it's too much of a big of an ask. I think that's a pretty reasonable one to provide. But just moving on straight into some of some of the routine items. So the one that I had a particular issue on is the transit database. One of the things that we don't see much is how and what the basis and criteria are for public works projects that go into different areas that get either street paving and don't get street paving. I know a gentleman mentioned that before. What is the basis, right? Is it just based off of a neighborhood collective income? Is it based off of affiliations of some sort? Is it based off of just seniority via age, the last time that they got paved or not? It's an issue I think generally a lot of people are quite interested in. How is it that the basis for what public infrastructure is revised or not comes into play? If we could have that at the very least, maybe as an attachment item, it would be really great. I didn't see that for the routine items on any of the public works routine items listed on what the basis is for some of the public works infrastructure plans. Again, the other thing I wanted to ask this council keep in mind is when it impacts, when there's street closures, it would be great to have maybe some sort of heat map. Again, I think it ties very well into not temperature heat map, but traffic heat map as to what areas are going to be impacted and what we can expect going forward. If that's public notices, not just the street closure, but delays that people might expect, the length of time that they can expect an increase in travel. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think it could be very simple. I think you could just work with your local DOT. And again, I just hope that you keep those in mind, and I'll wait my turn for some of the public hearing items. So thank you.
All right, thank you for your comments. All right, that's all we have signed up for items on the agenda, not public hearings. So the committee items, the 15 items, these items are minor in scope and procedural in nature. We can approve these items with a single motion, or an item can be considered separately from the rest of the council members. Would staff first like to say a few words on any of these items?
Other than we'd be happy to answer questions, we just think.
Okay, I have no request for the item.
Mr. Mayor, I would move approval of RI 1 through 10.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Wood.
Aye.
Councilmember Croft.
Aye.
Councilmember Ariano.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Chase. Aye. Mayor Rogers.
Aye, thank you very much. We move to item 1.1.